We was
Get
waiting for
in.
you, ma'am. This is your pick, so we was waiting for you.
Okay. Okay. This was some crazy shit.
All
So
right,
I
let's
guess let me
let's
just go
start it
ahead
out. Let's start it out.
with our intro. Welcome to Sisters in Lit and Life, where we discuss the lit we read and life. I'm Layla.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Shannon.
I'm Rayn.
And this week we have a thriller, Ask for Andrea by, and let's see, is her name Ihli? Noelle West?
Yeah,
Or
let's go with
Noelle
that.
W. Ihli? Noelle Healy? Wheatley? Ihli?
Let's go with
Mm-hmm.
Ihli. It's IH something. Let's go with that.
L.I. Yes.
Lihili.
So
Whatever it
this
is. Yeah.
book starts off, we meet Megan, who is on this date getting unalived by her scarf. And
That's how we
she's
open up.
telling this story. Like, this really how the book started. Like, she is telling this story because she begins to see herself out of her body, like, while this is happening. And she's like, she thinks that it's going to be like on TV, like she can jump back in her skin and be alive. And no, she watched this happen, and the person that did it goes away. Then we meet, and I think the book starts, I think this is like, it says 1 year before.
Yeah.
And then we meet the next character. Her name is Megan. I'm like, Brescia, sorry.
Yeah.
This is 2 years later. And we meet with her, kind of this dude, and she's on a date, and she's having this backstory about him. Like, they dated for really a week. And she's at her friend's party, and they're chilling. You know, she was thinking about it. She was talking about it. But then he shows up. She don't make a scene, but she's like, weirdo. You know, she get in the car with him, but he already know, like, it's a wrap. Don't call, don't write, don't send a bird with a mission, don't send a smoke signal. I'm good. And so she thinks that's it until, like, all this time goes by, a year later, and it's somebody standing in her trash can, and they're holding the extension cord to her Christmas lights, and she gets unalived. She comes out of her body, and she's looking at this like, ain't this some shit? And
With my own extension cord.
with my own damn extension cord, because somebody else wanted me to put up some damn Christmas decorations. But then she was like, and you know, I didn't even recognize him at first because he grew a beard. So she realizes, like, she's trying to move as a ghost. Because she's like, I'm a ghost. So surely I can, you know, float through walls and do all this spooky stuff I've seen on TV. And she learns really quickly that's not how it is. But she does realize she can follow him. And then we move fast forward to another young lady named Sky, who is in
Oh, we lost her.
the pit. And Sky, huh?
We
You
lost her for a
froze?
second. You went like this and froze.
Oh, I was doing this. And Sky is at work, and she's about to go home, and this little guy, you know, he's been over at the, what is it, like, oh, gosh, I can't remember the name of it.
Little coffee
The
shop.
little coffee house.
Yeah.
And he gonna give her a ride back. And she's like, okay. She get in the car with him, and she's like, I'm gonna text my mama, and realize, oh, I don't have a signal. And you know what? How many scary movies have we seen? You don't say that shit out loud. You see your phone don't have a signal. You don't say nothing out loud. But she said it out
ain't
loud.
no damn signal.
And he said, oh, just wait a little bit till we get over across the way, and you gonna have a signal, girl. So she was like, well, this ain't looking right. But they end up kind of down a dark path, and the car stops. I still ain't got no signal. So he was like, oh, you got to get out the car. You got to get out the car and go stand over there. And she, okay.
By the water.
That
And she
ain't
go
even no
over
damn
there.
sense.
She get over there. That's dumb. And he got up behind her, and she was unalive. This one, I think not that all of them weren't disturbing, but because, like, she was just starting life. Like, she had just graduated high school. She's about to go to college and leave in just a few days. And when she comes out of her body, like, she's really worried about her mom, like her mom finding out and her mom finding her. But she has the most gruesome, because he wipe his hands and he drives off down the gravel. And as she's learning how to be a ghost, she's seeing, like, the coyotes coming, and, you know, they're
all the scavenging,
all the stuff from the lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, in the woods are coming to graze on her. So this book follows this man, and different points in times with all three of these women while they are already deceased. And we see one of the women follow him, and we see he's actually married. He has 2 little girls. We're watching him as he's on the app meeting new women. He meets one girl and he SAs her because he carries his Tic Tac box, and he drops things into their drinks. He she kind of figures out like she goes on one more date with him, like, something happened. What happened? He was like, oh, you don't remember? Oh, you can't remember? I guess
But you went on a second date with him.
Yeah, she went on a second date with him, but she was like, something ain't right about this. He gets thoroughly offended whenever he's rejected, and he does plan to unalive her, but she happens to be at home that evening with her dad. So he just flattens her tires and goes on, and whichever one it was, I think it was Grisha, sees that
she's
he
mainly the one with him the whole time.
She sees that he is on there, and a new woman accepts a little message from him, and it's Megan. And so she's following him, and she can't stop. Like, we see them travel through time as he does unalives each one of them, and they can't help each other. They can only hear each other after the last one's unalived. Like, once you're unalive, then you can hear. They can't. One of them gets enough energy at times to work electronics and turn off computers and stuff like that. But
man, she was pissing him off every time she turned off.
Man,
he wasn't that damn pissed. He kept putting that shit back on.
He did.
I was like, oh, he is a man on a mission, because he was like,
he is determined. His fast forward, these parents and family members, they're determined that somebody has to know something, and they continue to try to push investigators. So time does go on. They do become cold cases until one of them, they're following each other, and then they end up at his home, and then they find these women as ghosts find each other. They do have some sort of power where if they get close enough to people's ears, like, people can hear.
Affect their subconscious.
Yes, and make them, they're like, wait, what's that?
Like, plant ideas.
And fast forward, and he's gonna run off into the wilderness. His wife knows how to, she knows how to pack stuff for, living off the grid. And they get to the cabin, only to realize the food is going to expire. They do not have enough food to live off the grid for this 6 months to a year as he's planned. And so the 3 spirits realize he is going to unalive his wife and children because he needs this food.
He needs to survive.
Going on an unaliving spree.
Yes. So they work together to help her escape him. And the title comes from one of the women saw a sign. If you're on a date and you need help, or you feel, weird or anything, all you have to do is go to the bar and say, ask for Andrea. So it's kind of like this code in this bar where he ends up with a few of them. At least one of them, he went on a date, but they end up back there when the wife is fleeing with her daughters, and she asked the lady that happens to come in the bathroom, hey, can you just tell the bartender, the lady in the bathroom, ask for Andrea?
Yeah.
And the police come, but they've already started putting the clues together because they have a little bit of a photo, a little piece of a photo, and from this city to that city, the detectives sort of work together, and there's one fingerprint that kind of brings the case together. So that's how this is. This was crazy.
I just don't get how he was able to get away with it for so long, because he didn't seem like he was very calculating.
He wasn't that, no.
And even the fact that
he was real sporadic.
Even in our dark romance books that we love, our stalkers and our crazy folks, they do a lot of due diligence.
Absolutely. I mean, there's some planning that goes into it, and he can randomly be like, I'm done with this woman, and be on the app with 4, 5, 6 different women, and there's no plan.
But I feel like even as an unaliver profession, I'm not using a dating app.
Not at all.
It's a paper trail. Even if it's a fake paper trail, you got IP addresses, you have phone logs, and all kinds of stuff.
But the people have to know that you went out on a date with this person.
I feel
Like
like with all the
somebody,
CCTV we have going around, you want everybody's Ring camera. If we can track
And
you
because the
in
only
the
thing he
city,
changed was his name. Because at one point, what was his real name was James Carson.
and there was like Jason at one point. It's like always a J too, right?
Jimmy, he was Jimmy Carlson, and then Jamie Carver. Like,
It seemed
he
like he
pretty much
wanted like
thought it was always JC. That's so close to your name. That's your actual initials. Like, he didn't even.
He wanted to get caught.
well, you have the car that you're
it was
taking
set
with
in
you.
modern day.
It was set in modern day, but you can
Because
tell these weren't big
they talked
city.
about COVID. They talked about it was like a bunch of stuff in there that was actually like it was like a dating app that he used called Matchstick. I'm not getting on that at all.
Matchstick. That sounds
But
crazy.
I mean, it could be any dating site because these women were meeting these guys. This guy meeting this guy and going out with him, bringing them back to his apartment or getting in his car. One of the girls, he was a frequent customer of this shop, so you presumably feel like you know these people because you see him every day coming in to the point where she knew his coffee order. So when he offered her a ride home, she's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll
she
get
didn't
in
even
your car."
hesitate.
Didn't hesitate to get in her car.
She didn't even
So
get Vicky. That's what it was.
But even one that was kind of drunk, she even said, "You don't get in the car with people like that." And the other one that's
she
already
was
been
already
on the
under the influence of the drug that he had given her. So,
but it's just like
she's drinking. They're on a date. Really, every one of those girls, you know, they don't think they're doing anything or not realizing that you have to be extra cautious about these people you do not know.
It taught me something. Drive your own car. And my mama used to preach this from when we were little. If you leave your drink, don't come back to it. That's gone.
Yeah.
I teach my kids that.
Because even the one girl that he was intending to, I think her name's Nicole or something like this in the book, he's intending to do all these things to her. But she has a little bit of sense. Because even in the book she mentions, I watch too much Criminal Minds and CSI. She's like, so when she went to the bathroom, even though she didn't see him put anything in the drink, she was like, nope. She's like,
and then she ordered water too?
She ordered a bunch of water, and she took maybe like one. She pushed that drink to the side, and he was trying to egg her on. Oh, I want to see the drunk Nicole, and she's like, hold up now. Yeah, acting funny. So she said, I think I'm gonna dip. But it's very like I think I watched this one TikTok video of this girl, and she was like, we're gonna play this game at a bar, and they used Swedish fish, but it was basically how many cups can I put this Swedish fish in with no one noticing. She put Swedish fish in like hundreds of cups in the bar, and no one noticed it. Inside of cans, inside of cup, everything. I was like, no one is vigilant.
Right?
You just be, people just be partying. But these people are really, although, these ladies were unalive, nothing in the book really was that far off that it couldn't happen.
Right.
Like you meeting on a date now. You don't know nothing about this man. And then the picture, because the picture he was using on the dating app was so like, he was at an angle and far off.
Never had a good clear.
Right. So even if they caught the dating app, like, oh, this girl met this guy on a dating app, he gave a fake name. The picture, it looked like him, but not really.
Yeah.
Like
it wasn't a clear picture.
Where you couldn't ID him in a lineup. Like, and someone couldn't ID him in a lineup. Because it's like, well, that could be, but it was just never a good.
Right. And if you telling your homegirls, oh, I met Jimmy, I'm going out to eat with Jimmy. That ain't even
so his ID is named James.
And I think too, like with Catfish and all the shows, like if someone shows up and they are who they say they are, they're like, oh, he's not a creep. No. He's just a creep.
Yes, he is.
I was about because he's attractive, and they'd be like, "Oh no,
right,
absolutely." I was like, "If he's attractive, I was like,
oh, I caught me one that was with the little young girl because he was an older guy, and somebody was like, oh, had he had that beard, I would have never even paid attention to him."
Exactly.
But the little girl that just graduated high school, she's like, oh, he come in, he flirt with me. The other people at work with her like, girl, give me your number. Like, oh, he trying to da-da-da-da. And he a whole serial.
And I think that goes with, a lot of people say, well, you have my trust until you break it. Shit, that could be too late. Like, I feel like in certain situations, no, you don't. I don't know you. I do not know.
And what's crazy is like, even with like this whole dating scene, like thank the Lord I don't have to date anymore. But But I'm sorry, Lonnie. But it's just so easy
for something
to
to happen to you.
manipulate any situation in the way that you want it to go.
Absolutely.
Because
Especially if you
even
get in these people cars.
I'm
Don't
not.
get in the
the
I
people
people,
cars.
yeah.
why?
And you know what?
Why?
But like I think about like when I dated before, I lived on campus in a dorm. I got picked up at the, like you came and picked me up. I don't want, you can't know if I'm dating, you can't know where I'm at. I'll meet you there. You don't know where I live, I'll just meet you there.
Yeah.
And I think in my mind, just looking at these shows and stuff, I'm not even gonna come straight back to my house because I want to make sure you not following me.
You're not wrong. We zigzagging through the
You see,
city.
it was a girl on TikTok that she went out on a first date with a guy, and the guy followed her home. Like she drove her own car, but he followed her home and then was knocking on her door, knocking on her window, going off on her. She left because he had said some kind of slur or something. She didn't like him. But he was like, "Why'd you leave me? I'm like going off." He was crazy.
Baby. You look like
And
Swiss
she had
cheese.
drove
You
her
come
own
around here
car.
doing that.
Yeah.
She didn't get out of her
this
car.
book was very much giving a true story.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely an episode of Criminal Minds.
Absolutely.
Without
that's what I was saying. This
BAU.
would be a good book to give to maybe younger, younger people or dating, just to be like, hey, this is, although it's like
coming from
scare
spirit,
tactic, but
this stuff can happen.
But it
every situation was
ultimately this man was, nice looking guy. You think he nice? He's saying all these things. You meet him up for dinner, and he essaying, and he this is not the dude. So you got.
And it's not like, and he was like fine, like he was talking to multiple people, like he was like hunting,
4 or 5
like he was his playing field. And I'm just like, so now here's a question too. So we have the wife. I can't remember her name, Julie.
April.
I can't remember.
I thought her name was April.
Boom. It's April. Don't listen to me.
Oh,
don't listen to me.
Don't listen to me.
Don't listen to me. It's like me knowing her name is like Shannon knowing the title of this book. Alicia, ask Alicia.
She sure did.
Me too.
But I'm just sitting here like, okay, at what point, right? You married to this person since whenever? Do you start to question? Not necessarily that he's an unaliver, he's doing weird stuff, but question what is going on with this man, right?
Okay, let's talk about it. Because let's just be honest, she was living as a lot of married women do in America. A married single parent. You're seeing about the kids. He's saying he's got work stuff. Why would you question it? The bills are paid. She's clearly a stay-at-home mom. She get her little allowance for the groceries and the kids' outfits if they need one. Like, so she has so much keeping her busy with these kids. If he says he's working on stuff at work, because he actually does bring his computer home, he does work on stuff. It looks like this man is so busy. I would be so ungrateful to be, all up in his business and questioning him. I'm just grateful that he affords us this life that we're living and we have everything that we need.
Even though he talks crazy.
And he talks crazy.
Hella crazy to the kids too.
To the kids too. Like just.
But that is not that wasn't crazy. It's people, like she said, it's people that's living like 100%. That, and you don't know what they doing now. Maybe they not doing all he was doing, but they could be out here with a whole double life, kids in a whole nother boot thing up the street. You'll never know because you just want the blind, like you have the blindness on because you want them on. Because she definitely should have known something wrong, right, just a little bit.
Right.
You ain't. I mean, even if you. Something in your spirit should have just been like,
The first time the cops come to the door, I'm questioning everything. I'm going through every record and phone bill and everything. I don't care what kind of angle. Let me tell you something. I don't care what angle and how far away that picture was. If my homegirl had sent me a picture talking about, is this your spouse? That show
I don't know.
I took the
every
picture.
angle.
I don't know what it is. I don't know that that's them. So she like, is that girl who wouldn't have been in that cat? Who wouldn't have been driving off and leaving?
That's my thing. That was at that point. I felt like at that point when he done said, "Get the kids, get in the car. We going. We after the cops are on, or we can't see nobody. I'm not riding for you anymore, sir. Because why are we in the cabin of your abusive stepmother?"
Talk about the police. I mean, if it wasn't you, they just got you mistake. If you getting accused of what these people say, nobody.
And all the lights is flickering all the damn time, and I know we paid the bill.
Right. But you
girl,
know what?
I'm letting you know right now, if my husband says something crazy to me and the lights flicker, I'm out. I'm out.
What you know what? You could tell she had took the blinders off for 3.2 milliseconds.
But
when she looked
right
up, can childhood trauma cause, I can't remember what it was, but she was almost like
that dumb. Nah, you
let me see. Can he be a killer if he had, unalive, or if you know he had childhood trauma? And then she was like, nah.
Why you even, if you even gotta Google some stuff like that,
you need to be packing up.
Run, bitch, run.
I got to Google.
And then the fact that he, I think the thing that got me too, and I mean, there are families that definitely function like this, so this is no knock to this, but he's like giving her a certain amount of money to spend every week on certain things. You know, some people need a budget. I'm not going to say they don't, because some people ball out and they live above their means. So my husband might be like, you're doing too much. You can only spend this much. But he's barely giving you enough. He's giving you enough money for food and like literally the bare minimum. But he makes plenty of money because he got money. He's just not giving it to you. That's so controlling. Like, there has to be some red flags that go off that just make you think, like,
you don't even get no overage. She doesn't always have spending money for the kids. Not even little fun things for them to do or little outings. It's food and if they need clothes. Like, that's it.
That's crazy.
That's all.
Now, if you know going in, like he working 2 jobs, he ain't got no money, he giving you okay. But he barely be working. It seemed like he in the damn basement click-clacking on the keyboard.
Not click-clack.
All day. Don't even spend no time with you. What I got you for?
Okay. Exactly.
Do you think her
and then when
budget
you
would
do
have been
come
different
around,
if
you
she
gotta
had
stay
boys?
out too.
I think he was so self-absorbed. The family.
Yeah, I think it would have been the same. He wasn't worried about them kids nor her.
No, they were a means to his facade. I feel like
absolutely,
like he needed them.
For all these dates, he need that money for them dates. Because
I don't know what kind of app he was using too. Because delete all the apps at this point.
And then the audacity, he was like, after he couldn't, after he, was inappropriate with these people and they didn't fall for his advances, well, he couldn't get them, he gonna go block them. Talk about
and report them.
They made him feel uncomfortable. Get your ass.
But the fact that he went to a Reddit thread and found out from other men how to get around people blocking you, sirs of the world, sirs of the world, sirs of the world.
They know they got a whole group chat.
They
know where to go.
I was like, we need to get all the men in the world to just read a couple more of these books like this.
Right?
Nah, because they just don't get them
some ideas.
Yeah.
It just don't make sense. I was like, because like in the beginning, I was like, oh, these girls are so stupid. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. And I was thinking about it, I was like, this is just very much like everyday. Like,
they just going on a date. Especially when the girl was around. The girl just was gonna get on the bus.
It used to be normal for your date to pick you up.
It was. Come to your door, knock all that.
Yeah, come to your door. I mean, yeah, like,
come up, have a nightcap.
I don't care if I got a fucking pogo stick is my only mode of transportation. I'm a
pogo stick. I say all the time, I promise you, I should not be walking the dumb stuff I used to do as a young, like a
make no sense.
Older, like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. The stuff I used to do.
Oh, baby.
I should not be here.
Yeah. Me and my sister talk about this.
I should not be here.
I didn't been places I shouldn't have been there and didn't know them folks.
I done been walking down the street. I done been walking
2-3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm from Memphis, and so I don't just be walking the neighborhood or like walking home from work one time, and somebody like, "Oh, you want to ride?" We like, "Yeah." Me and my homegirl, "Yeah, we want to ride." Just getting in random dudes' cars.
Yeah.
What you doing, girl?
I
should be in traffic. Girl,
that's wild, right?
Wild. Okay. And they just took us to work.
I feel like I grew up right at the end of the era where it was like it wasn't okay to get into strangers' cars anymore because we didn't do that. Like that was very much ingrained into us. Yeah, like
it should.
But I remember walking home 2 o'clock in the morning. Right. Like I remember doing stuff like that all the time. I have friends who be like, I walked to this guy's house from the bar. What?
I'm telling you,
that's
just crazy. Yeah, that's how I know, baby. The Lord done kept me many times. Because I don't. Oh my
You got
God,
purpose
I
on
can
this
tell
earth.
y'all some stories and stuff like that. I know I should not have had any business doing. As a young adult. So reading this type of stuff, I was like, I mean, you just don't think things can happen. Like you just people are so oblivious of
it won't happen to me. It won't happen to me. We have that syndrome and it won't happen to me. It can't happen to me.
Yeah. Well, and I think like even more so now, like we just weren't. I feel like even though we were aware of it because things were on the news, we weren't aware of how like really normal all this stuff is. Because now social media and everything, we see it all. You get all kind of alerts and all. We didn't get any of that stuff when we were growing up, so it's like a whole different ballgame.
But I think it was far and few between, like in the areas we were in. Like, okay, it may have happened 3 or 4 times here and 3 or 4 times where it happens more often, and because of social media, we're more aware of it and should make better choices. Like, I think as times change, our behaviors need to change to match it. For
Rayn said I was in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like I said, I grew up in Memphis. Like so that type of stuff was not abnormal in my area. You know what I'm saying? Like not that I lived in the hood, but I lived in a crime. You know, it's like growing up in Chicago,
small place where I graduated high school is small, but like Lafayette, where I went to high school, like elementary school, but then where I went to college at Monroe was bigger. But now Monroe is pretty dangerous. Like if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want her walking on campus after dark. Like you would have to have a car. And you know what? Sometimes depending on what. I should probably be embarrassed. Yes, I did graduate eventually. But there were times where I took a night class because it only meant one time a week, and that didn't mess up what I wanted to do during the day. So I would walk on campus at night and
we got a lot of documentaries about the campuses.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they was out here doing that. I remember our freshman orientation for college. They was basically telling us like, don't use a buddy system, do this, do that. But you think we was doing it? No,
absolutely not.
We wasn't. No. They used to tell us to even in that area, like if you're driving at night and you come up on the red light, to don't stop. If you see the red light already up ahead, slow down. So if somebody try to get your car, you just keep out, so that it goes to green. Do not stop at the red light. So that's the type of environment I was in. But still jumping, just stupid. So when you see this, I'm telling you. So when you see people, even in this day, that will do those type of things, you're going on dates, you're telling people where you live, even to like, oh, we're gonna meet up here, but then the date went well, so all right, well we gonna go walk down by the da. Child, you might
be so romantic down there.
Yeah, no,
it's dark and lonely down there too.
It's dark, ain't nobody out there. Yeah, and nobody.
It's like you have to have a lot of common sense now in a world where common sense just
is not popular.
It's a lot of fragility with the common sense.
Or just to be like, if that's what you're gonna do, to let somebody know where you are, because even the girl, like I said, she just wanted to ride home. Nobody even knew that she had gotten into the car with that guy. Yeah. They didn't even know she knew the guy. They knew him. He was just a customer.
He was a regular. Yeah.
But they didn't know that he had come back and circled back so that she could get in the car with. It was what year? How long had it been that lady body was out there?
Shoot, a long time.
It was a minute.
It was
right.
Long.
So they didn't even have any leads. They didn't even have any leads.
And you know what? But even if they did, here's the thing. Even if I'm gonna tell somebody I went with such and such, that can't stop them. You already unalived.
If anything, all it is helping them find you.
Find you faster, right?
That's true too.
It needs to be more of buddy systems, because like even different things I'm learning now, even with my boys. Don't go to the bathroom by yourself. Don't go to, and there was a horror like this happened when I lived in Texarkana. So parents, they all at the movie, they had several kids, and one of the little boys had to use the bathroom. So they sent both of their sons. Well, the older one didn't actually go into the bathroom. He stood outside the door. Men came in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. He finally was like, he go in there. His brother has been SA'd. He is on the stall, the handicap stall floor, bloody and everything.
And the people ain't saying
ain't even saying anything. And of course, his parents did what they thought they were supposed to do. But I tell mine, no, you have to, cause see, they're boys. They don't want to go in the ladies' bathroom, and they really are almost too old to go in there with me. So it's like places where it's a family restroom. We utilize that. But I have opened the bathroom door one time. Like if it's only one of them with me, I will open the door and say, the way my baby goes in there is the way he better come back out. And I've had men come out there like, are y'all right here? He better be. And I got to put in your face.
Because I'm clocking all y'all coming out of here.
And I would yell my kids' name. You okay? Yes, ma'am. Keep talking to me. Keep talking. Like, I act ghetto ratchet because I want them people in there be afraid because I will hurt you if something happens to my baby.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
I won't go in the bathroom. He won't. One of them, he will not go in the public. He won't go in there.
Okay.
I just wait till I get home.
Yeah. He. I'm telling you, or he'll make you stand outside the door, or like he don't play that life. He do not play that, and I don't think it's got anything to do with nobody in there. I think it's more for him about like it be dirty, but he won't go. He will not go in there.
You know what?
He'll go in the women's, but he don't go in there. He'll go in a women's bathroom before he'll go in a men's bathroom. But he don't. He real funny about that. So that's a blessing anyway. But ultimately, this book, I wasn't mad at the book. It really was I would have maybe a young adult or somebody, or like I was saying that this is probably good for like self-defense class reading group, so that they're kind of make you more vigilant about your surroundings and the things that you do or shouldn't do when you're meeting new people or people that you think you know.
Just overall being mindful.
Yeah.
Not being so like naive about stuff.
Right. I ain't this nervous, so I don't have any problems no more.
Yeah, I think the overall premise of the book, like even before we picked it, this was on my TV. I wanted to read it. Like the overall premise of the book, I really enjoyed. I feel like the only thing that that kind of hung me up on it was the inability or the lengthiness of the spirits in the book. The girls, like I felt like they really just, other than telling the story, really served no purpose. Like, which is very real life. Like, if this was real, like, once you're gone, you're gone. You really can't help anyone in the future. Like, although subconsciously in the dreams and whatnot. But I was just like, can we get some shit moving? Can we throw a glass? Can we be ghosts?
I was mad about that too. Why can't they be real ghosts?
It was given like the movie Ghost, like that they wanted to try to, the one that was like following him initially trying to help the other girls out, like, hey, he about to kill you, girl, you better run.
I thought it was crazy though, because she, even though like she was like that was the girl, the second girl who ends up being unalive, because she's unalive first, Barisha or whatever her name is.
The first one was Megan, then was
then it was 2 years earlier, because then it was Barisha. First. So it felt like my struggle with her was just like, dang, you had to watch all this unfold. Like, because she followed.
It couldn't do nothing.
But you know what was weird? After she decided she didn't want to follow them no more, she hung around and started watching the wife and the kids, like just chilling at their house.
Yeah,
and watching them. That was weird.
Y'all, it's a contractor in my house because I had a thing with the dishwasher, so I got to go back in there to make sure. I mean, I know who the person is, but we talking about what we talking about. And hold on, this is what I got right now.
You okay, girl?
No, it's my kids' God. It's my kids' God. I know, but y'all know.
Shannon, roll through.
This a BB gun. It's a BB gun. It's a BB gun. It's a BB gun. It's a BB gun.
Okay,
don't show nothing on here.
It's a BB gun. I got to tell it. It's a BB gun.
In the right place.
It's a BB gun. Yes.
What did you think, Shannon, of the book?
He was bored.
If I couldn't get the name correct, y'all knew.
Did you say it was bored?
I said it. She didn't say that.
I do think it didn't move fast, but I think if the ghost could ghost, that would have made it more interesting. Like if they could have really fucked with him, that would have made it better.
Cause he wasn't scared at all. He
wasn't scared of nothing.
He was just like, let me take this shit to Geek Squad.
Right. He didn't care at all.
He didn't
Like, if
see
they
him.
could have messed with him, if they could have created a profile and done stuff to him,
like even I was thinking even more so like how they started messing with the electricity. I was like, okay, we got one. I was like, once they start linking up, they really got to fuck shit up because they're gonna have all this power together. They're gonna link hands and be like, the power of three, and be like,
oh
Lord.
Did you say the power of three?
Indeed.
I was like, they about to make some like kind
she
of
ain't like they
With the sisters,
Planet.
the magic
Like what was the people? Power Rangers.
charm, yeah.
Oh, that was it.
But I was like, oh, they about to link up and it's gonna be really good. And then no, because they could feel like once they touched each other, they got
just
all of their
they just had a friend.
experiences. I was like,
They just
man,
linked up and had a friend.
yeah, I got someone to talk to and talk back to me. But yeah, the wife let me down until the end, and she finally figured her shit out. And but other than that, I was like, come
Girl, where
on,
was your
woman,
cell phone? That was the question.
anything. No, didn't he make her throw it away because they could track it or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah, he got all mad talking about why you take your phone, they could track it. And I think I
At
don't know
that
if she
point, I'd have been
continued to
like,
have
I
it
think
or
I need to
he
be
tossed
tracked. Get
it.
Red
me out the car.
flags. Alarm should have been going off in
She
her
had
head.
no
He had no sense,
self-preservation.
no common sense at all. Like, I was just like, bitch, I wish the fuck I. What do you mean? First of all, I'd have been out when the police came to my door. What the fuck are you doing?
Right?
Why
And
you
you
got the
already
police
talking
at
to
my
me
door?
crazy? You talking to me crazy and the
No,
police
when
come to
my
the door?
homegirl from church thought that
We
was
look
you.
just like him. Bitch,
Like,
what picture?
and then
Tell
he had enough nerve
me.
to get mad. You didn't tell me about this, and you know what? The way you behaving, I should probably call the police and tell them, come on, Ryan, here and check you out. Cause
I thought in the end she was gonna have been the one that did the anonymous tip. I
so
didn't think
did
it was gonna
I.
be.
I didn't
I
like that
thought it
she
was
was a
gonna have been
scary
her.
Mary.
Yeah, she was very much. But that sometimes that's
Well,
the
they had
person
been
that
together all
attracts the
that
serial
time. She
killers.
didn't know how she was gonna pay her bills.
I mean, yeah, a serial unaliver isn't going
Still don't
to
know.
Still don't know. She ain't
strong.
got no passwords
She
to
ain't
the
got no
account.
job, no nothing.
She ain't even got no debit card, so I don't know what she can
Right?
do.
That was wild.
She might have
That
did
just
better.
brings up the not the question, but like the thought process. Like, dude, even if you're a stay-at-home mom or whatever you're doing, make sure that you have a nest egg. It's like you're not planning for things to go wrong, but you're planning to protect yourself, because you don't even know if one day that man might wake up or that woman might wake up and be like, you know what, this right here is no longer working. So what are you gonna do when all shit goes? When shit goes up shit's creek, what are you gonna do?
Snap and get on that show.
That reminds me of that story where we were like, these women need to start saving some money.
Yeah.
And they need to. But it's like, I think people don't think about that because it's like, I trust this person, and does that mean that I'm not
they don't watch much TV.
That I'm
going
all,
into
that I'm
my
not
marriage
all
the
in?
way that you're supposed to? Because does that mean you're saying, oh, my marriage won't last?
You got to be you can't just be so naive though.
You can't.
You know what made this book better though?
Everything else.
If it
I'm sorry, my bad.
If at the end April had like if they had the three musketeers had got together and like did whatever, but maybe they jumped in April's body and was able to unalive Charles or whatever that man's name was, James.
Then I maybe would have had something good to
That would
say.
have like if that had been how it ended, like as they they had went off the grid, he done shut down everything. If she had ended up unaliving him, like if they had maybe even if they got into it because he was trying to unalive her first, the wife first, and she ended up being the one that
She
got the
fought
best
back.
of him and put him in that grave that he dug for her.
Him pulling out them tarps and measuring them was wild. I was like, he measuring tarps? That is crazy.